and my name is Yula, and today we're gonna read Ivy and Ben's story, Make the Rules story, starting at A Magic Treehouse story. This chapter to read, the end of reading the next chapter. Okay, now are you ready for read this one book with a lot of stories? Before you look at my YouTube, please thumbs up my YouTube. And now really, are you ready for read this one book and a lot of stories? Now here we go. And first we can read Ivy and Ben's story, A Magic Treehouse chapter. Let's read it. Ben did have important plans. Okay, one important plan. It was about a board. She had to find a good board, a really good one. It was wide and strong and smooth. It had probably been a bookshelf once, but when Ben saw it, she knew that it was meant to be the treehouse. It would be the floor of Ben's treehouse. Her secret hideaway, her front fort, her almost apartment up in the leaves. There were no one could come unless Ben gave her permission, except Ivy, because Ivy was going to help her build it. They were going to build a treehouse mates. There was the one problem with Ben's plan: trees. Ben's backyard had trees, but not trees with nice, low, friendly branches. Ben had tried to putting on a board in the bush, but it didn't work. The bush had a sort of falling over. Ben had gritted her teeth and lugged her board to her front yard. There was a plum tree with some sturdy branches. A front yard treehouse was not good as a backyard treehouse, but Ben was trying to be open-minded. Another problem was nails. Ben was not supposed to use them, or hammers. Her dad had promised to the nail on the board into the plum tree, but he kept forgetting it. Now, as Ben thought about Nancy and the Girl Power Forever camp, she decided she couldn't wait for her dad. She had to make her treehouse today. No hammer and nails? Fine. She would come and find another way, a better way. Nancy would come home from camp and wish she had a treehouse like Ben's. Ben might let her sit inside it for a minute. Ben looked over at Ivy's house, one on the side of a pancake board. The curtains were closed, but that was okay. Ben could do it on her own. Girls are strong. And the girls are great, she sang softly. Girls have the power to create. Feeling determined, Ben set to work. The first question was how to stick these things together without nails. Easy peasy. Duct tape. Ben raised it inside and came out with a thick roll of tape. She is getting more determined by the moment. Probably kids could cluster around the bottom of the plum tree, hoping to be allowed in her tree house. She shoved the board up into the tree branches, looking at it for a second, and then went inside to get a chair. She banged her knee, dragging the chair over the lawn, and it wasn't very good for the lawn, but at last she was ready. She stood on her seat, wrapping tape around the board and the branches. Tape, 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 okay, done. She got down and moved her chair to the other end of the board. Tape, tape, tape. Hi! Yikes! Ben grabbed the tray to keep her falling off the chair. Did I scare you? Ivy looked pleased. I'm trying to walk without making any sound. Why do you want to do that? Asked Ben. So I can creep up on people and kiss a witch. And she grew up, so she needed to know things like that. Oh, can you hold on it this side while I tape on another end? Ivy stood on the chair beside Ben. Ben taped up a storm. There, she exclaimed. Done. They both got off the chair and stood back to look. The board looked surprisingly small, but there among the branches of a plum tree. In fact, it looked punny. Not funny, punny. It didn't look like a tree house. It looked like a board. Lots of tape in it. Ben's throat got thick and hot. The big kids made treehouse all the time. They didn't have to use the tape. They used the nails and the hammer. They stood on the ladders, not chairs. They pounded nails while they telling jokes, and their treehouse was big as the regular houses in the secret. But out in front of everyone in their front yards, big kids built things and making things, cooked things, and had things, new things. And Ben didn't because she was just a little kid. Ivy watched Ben's face. We could fix it, she said. She meant the treehouse. No, said Ben. I'm sick of this treehouse. She kicked the palm tree. What good is the treehouse anyway? You just sit in it, a stump. Well, said Ivy, you could eat cookies in it. Eating. It's boring. Ben said crabbily, I want to do things, fun things, like crafts and nature study. Crafts and nature study? Ivy asked. What? From her pocket, Ben pulled out the Girl Power Forever paper and handed it to Ivy. That's what I want to do, she said. I want to do all that. Ivy read the list. Crafts, nature study, first aid, and she have looked up Ben and then back on the newspaper. Dance, drama, circle skills, great woman of history. She began to smile. Ben, we can do this stuff. If we don't need to go to camp, we can make our own camp. Now is the next chapter. Camp planning a row hits the sport. Now, Ivy and Ben is making their own camp at their own house and their garden. So they might be really excited to make a camp for tomorrow. Let's see it tomorrow, okay? Let's see how awesome they have made their camp, or maybe they didn't make it any. But they have tried it, so that's a good try. Now, let's see that lovely camp for tomorrow. Now, did you have fun? You lost English Country. Come back with some D's for fun, not this story, because there might be a new chapter to read for tomorrow. And please thumbs up on my YouTube and have a nice day. Bye-bye, everyone.